Few films capture the spirit of the Western as powerfully as The Magnificent Seven. Directed by John Sturges and featuring an unforgettable cast led by Yul Brynner, Steve McQueen, Charles Bronson, James Coburn, Robert Vaughn, Brad Dexter, and Horst Buchholz, the film remains one of the most beloved Westerns ever made. It's exciting, emotional, and surprisingly thoughtful, blending thrilling action with a deeper perspective on heroism, purpose, and sacrifice. The Magnificent Seven seems like a straightforward story about hired guns defending a helpless village. But beneath the gunfights and horseback chases lies a rich, moving story about men who have spent their lives drifting from one conflict to another, finding something worth fighting for. The film begins in a small Mexican farming village that lives in constant fear of the bandit Calvera and his gang. Each year, Calvera rides in, steals the villagers' crops, and leaves them barely enough food to survive. The villagers are poor and frightened, but they eventually realize that if they continue to do nothing, they will lose everything. In a desperate attempt to save their homes and families, several villagers travel north to find men willing to defend them. They meet Chris Adams, a calm and experienced gunfighter whose quiet confidence immediately sets him apart. Chris agrees to help and begins recruiting other gunmen to join him. This premise speaks to a universal idea: ordinary people facing overwhelming odds and finding the courage to resist. The villagers aren't warriors. They're farmers, fathers, and mothers who only want to live in peace. Their struggle makes the story deeply human. One of the film's greatest strengths is the way each member of the Seven feels like a complete character rather than a stereotype. Chris Adams, played by Yul Brynner, is the leader. He's composed, intelligent, and highly skilled, but he's not driven by greed. Chris understands the dangers of the job and accepts it with a sense of dignity.
I've been offered a lot for my work, but never everything.
Vin Tanner, portrayed by Steve McQueen, becomes Chris's closest friend. He has a relaxed manner and a sharp sense of humor, but beneath his easygoing personality is a man who recognizes the emptiness of a life spent chasing one job after another.
Home, none. Wife, none. Kids, none.
Bernardo O'Reilly, played by Charles Bronson, is physically imposing but emotionally warm. His relationship with the village children reveals his kindness and his belief that true heroism belongs to those who build and nurture rather than those who destroy.
You think I'm brave because I carry a gun? Well, your fathers are much braver because they carry responsibility for you, your brothers, your sisters, and your mothers. And as nobody says they have to do this, they do it because they love you and because they want to. I have never had this kind of courage.
Britt, played by James Coburn, is a quiet and deadly professional who takes pride in his skill.
That was the greatest shot I've ever seen.
Worst. Was aiming at the horse.
Lee, portrayed by Robert Vaughn, is perhaps the most tragic character. Once a famous gunfighter, he's now haunted by fear and uncertainty. His struggle gives the film a rare emotional vulnerability. Harry Luck, played by Brad Dexter, initially joins because he believes there's a hidden treasure in the village, but his motives evolve as the story progresses. And Chico, portrayed by Horst Buchholz, is young, impulsive, and eager to prove himself. He serves as the audience's entry point into the world of the gunfighters and undergoes the most visible transformation. Together, they form a group of individuals who are very different from one another, yet united by a shared sense of honor. Although The Magnificent Seven is filled with suspense and expertly staged shootouts, the film's true strength lies in its quieter moments. The Seven train the villagers to defend themselves, And as they do, mutual respect begins to grow. The villagers start to see the gunfighters as protectors rather than mysterious outsiders. In turn, the gunmen gain a renewed sense of purpose. Eli Wallach's performance as Calvera is one of the film's highlights. He's cruel and manipulative, but he's not portrayed as a one-dimensional villain. Calvera sees himself as a man doing what he must to survive, and he understands the economic desperation that drives both him and the villagers. This complexity makes the conflict more compelling. Calvera is dangerous, but he also serves as a dark reflection of the Seven. Both he and the gunfighters live outside normal society. The difference is that the Seven choose to use their abilities in defense of others.
Nobody throwed me my own gun that says run. Nobody.
As the final battle unfolds, the film makes it clear that victory will come at a high cost. Several members of the Seven are killed, each death carrying emotional weight because we come to know and care about these characters. When the battle is over, the village is safe, but the moment is bittersweet. Chris quietly observes,
Only the farmers won. We lost. We always lose.
it's a powerful ending. The line suggests that men like Chris and Vin, despite their courage, can never truly belong to the peaceful world they help preserve. They're wanderers, destined to move on while others enjoy the stability they made possible. The Magnificent Seven endures because it offers more than entertainment. It combines action, memorable characters, and stirring music with a thoughtful exploration of honor and sacrifice. The Seven gunfighters begin as drifters with uncertain motives, but through their defense of the village, they discover a sense of meaning that has long been missing from their lives. They don't fight for money. They fight for a chance to do something worthwhile. In the end, the film reminds us that true greatness is not measured by survival or recognition. It's measured by the willingness to stand up for others, even when the cost is high. That's why The Magnificent Seven remains a timeless classic, and one of the most moving westerns ever made.